Okay, so on the bubble letters, just some things that I'm looking around and seeing. One, as you go through this and you practice more and more, try to puff up your letters more of a bubble. That makes a huge difference later when we add the other parts to it. And then also the overlap is important. That kind of adds to the graffiti bubble letter effect. And also draw as big as you can. Take it as much of the page as you can. Ultimately, though, these are all just practice. In the end, I'm going to give you all a big thing, a big poster board, and we're going to fold it in half, tape it, put a big rectangle on it, and I'm going to say, put your name in that rectangle. And it's however you want to do it. So this is just practice for that. You can do it this way. I may show y'all one or two different ways, different ways to do it. Or you may have a way that you write it, and that's the way you put your name in the rectangle. It doesn't really matter to me. None of this is for a grade. This is because we make art and it's fun and enjoyable. That's the idea of it. So just, don't worry about that part. Just try to get better with each time you do it. I do this over and over again, and each time they're different. Sometimes they're better, sometimes they're worse. But, every time I do it, I learn something and I get a little bit better. All right, so you got to the point where you've Sharpied everything. Erase all the pencil lines that are in there. The next step is to add the fat lines, right, on the top and the sides. And kind of the easy way that I think to do this or figure out what needs to be done is I think about snow falling. And when snow falls, it collects on horizontal surfaces and surfaces that are at an angle. It doesn't really ever collect on surfaces that are vertical as much. So with that being said, what you do is, and we're talking about the outsides of the letters, and this part of the O is still an outside of the letter. So easiest thing to do is just draw an arrow down. Is it touching there? It's touching here, but it'll go past right here and won't touch. So that won't get black or a thicker line. Line weight won't get heavier. It'll collect here and here. It'll collect here, here, on these parts, all on the top parts of the letters. But it's real simple. I'm not going to do every letter. You guys can figure out what's going on really quick. But I just take my Sharpie, and I'm just drawing a parallel line. And when you tend to go around curves, it tapers down, and then fill it in. And it's really kind of up to you how thick you make that line. The other thing that's nice about this is you can kind of correct some of your unsmooth curves. All right, so I've got a few more to do, but y'all don't need to watch me do the whole thing. So take a minute. If you need to, it does not hurt anything to take your pencil and draw a line down to see where the snow would settle and make those lines thicker. All right, so once you get where the snow has fallen and it's on all the places that it would collect, the next thing to do is you turn your paper this way and do the same thing again. Where's the snow going to collect? On all the sides. All right? And you do this, excuse me. You go through and do the same thing again. On any of the surface where snow would collect, fatten up those lines. You can also, as you practice this and do it more, you'll get to where you get the idea of where the shadows, the thickness goes. You can also, instead, you can say, well, maybe I want to do it on the bottom. Maybe I turn it over like this, and I do it where the snow falls on all these pieces, and then falls this way, or this way, and this way. It goes either way. But we are all watching the screen right now, not working on our own assignments. All right, so back to it. This is not really the exact most perfect way to do this. And there's times that I'm doing this and it's not really looking like it's supposed to, but there's a lot of things in life we just kind of fake it and make it look good. There's probably a graffiti artist somewhere in the world just cringing at my attempt at graffiti letters. All right, so I think that's pretty much everything. I'll kind of go back through and look again when you guys are working. But so snow's falling from the top, snow's falling from the side, and collecting, and those are the sides that get the letters, the line weight gets thicker and heavier. All right? Any questions on that? So do that for a minute, and then we'll move on to the very last part. All right, so there's one last part we have to do to go from this to making it look more bubble letter-esque. And there's kind of two ways to do it. And I'm not sure which one I like better. But this one, we're working on the inside of the letters now, and I put the accents in random places. Sometimes they're against the dark, sometimes they're not. And then on this one, I put them on the opposite side of the heavy line, just to see what it would look like. And I think I do like that one better. But there's really a lot of ways to do this. And if you look up bubble letters, you can see different ways to write the accent. But really all I'm doing is I'm drawing a parallel line. There's nothing really to it. Sometimes the line may be bigger and get smaller. Like so. So you go through the letters that way. And you're welcome to try it on the heavy side or the light side. It doesn't really matter. You just see which one works best. That was terrible. And see, I can't help it. I got to put something almost in every spot, and I probably shouldn't, but I do. All right. And that's how you make Eccles' version of bubble letters.